Hey guys, what's up? So, just got out of work. I just had a couple things I wanted to talk about today. And me, myself, and I get bored and sick of talking to myself. So, YouTube being my therapy, lucky you, I figured, hey, while I'm allowed to speak my mind, I'm going to. So, some topics I wanted to talk about. First of all, on a funny note, my dad, he's a Vietnam vet, but he retired from the post office some years ago after 30-some years of service. And at the thrift store, I got a UPS sweatshirt, so I was like, I'd be hilarious if I took a picture of myself in this sweatshirt and sent it to my dad. Anyways, topic number 2, just random things. Maybe it'll spark somebody else's interest, or maybe... What I always hope with my channel is that through my experiences in life and all the suffering and everything, that maybe somehow, some way, one day, I will be able to help at least one other person relieve their suffering, or maybe give them some inspiration, or open a door to some resources or outlets that maybe they don't know exist. That's always been the goal for my channel. This isn't a woe is me, poor me, sympathy, pity place. I share my experiences, and those of you who have been with me for the last couple of years, you know my life's been pretty shitty. However, I don't want to use that and just, it seems like if I were taken out tomorrow for whatever reason, is it all a waste? All of this that I've gone through, it can't be for nothing. That doesn't make sense to me. So I like to take my negatives and turn them into a positive, paying it forward, you know? So, there's a disclaimer for Jen's crazy channel here. Anyways, my apartment should be ready next week. I'm super happy about that. Topic number 2. In 2018, I got off all of my psych meds after I suffered 3 seizures in 1 week's time. And luckily for me, my ex was there at the time, and he resuscitated me. And I even fell out on the concrete sidewalk in front of a pizza restaurant during one of the seizures, and I cracked the back of my head. Like, it was bad. And when you seize, your whole body seizes and convulses, and I bit down on my tongue, clamped down, and on the side of my tongue, I actually split it, so I had blood and foam coming out of my mouth. And at that point, I was going through my awakening, or activation, or whatever you want to call it. And I was going in this direction, and then pew, off to the side after that. I went plant-based as far as my diet. I went holistic and naturopathic as far as vitamins, minerals, herbs. I was practicing meditation and yoga, which I hadn't ever really done before. And seeking answers to this influx of information that I was receiving. From what source? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Probably multiple. I know in this world, like, you look at my channel and I have just over 100 subscribers, and I love you all, by the way. Each one of you are like my heart. But I've been shadow banned, gaslit, they're gang stalking. I've even had extraterrestrial experiences in my past. All things considered, I'm a nobody, faceless, nameless person in this world of billions of people. I'm just, me. And if it wasn't for this channel, I would have never connected with all of you, which I'm super thankful for. But that being said, in my life, these 44 years that I've been here, I've experienced quite a bit. Everything from being a suicide survivor to drugs to, I hate the P word, so I'm just going to say I sold out back in the day to get my drugs, if you catch my drift. I've been a rebel. I've been a nonconformist. At the age of 12, it was determined through a psychotherapist that I was a child genius. I have 3 boys. I'm a mother. I've lost many people that are close to me. My mother, my first child, other family members, a lot of death I've been through. I've been through abuse, all forms, every form of abuse I've been through. And then PTSD and anxiety and depression and homelessness. I've owned my own business before. I'm a former homeowner. I've been through a lot. So one of the things that I do behind the scenes in my life is I write. Mostly because I have never really had anyone I could trust to confide in. That's part of it. The other part is my self-esteem and is low. I'm kind of like, if the world was CoronaCon, I would be the antivirus. So, I love people. I love this planet, but I hate this world. That's the truth. So, writing, I do a bunch of poetry as well as lyrics. Sometimes I put that to a beat, but I don't really have the time in my 3D life of bullshit to put as much time into music as I would like to. So right now, lyricist, journalist, filmographer, mother, self-learned student of physics and spirituality and seeker in the universe. That's what I would call myself. I know that we are eternal beings. I know we have souls. I know that this human experience and this little tiny 80 years, give or take, of a lifetime we have here is not the end-all, be-all of everything. So I'm always seeking higher and greater knowledge and how to rise above. I love my generation probably more than anything on this planet, and that's generations X, Y, and Z. That's who I fight for. That's why I do this. That's why I have done this for the last 2 years. I see with quantum vision where I can look at current events and see the most probable outcome based on facts and even making an educated guess, okay? I'm currently here in 2021, today's February 3rd. I am quite ashamed to call myself a United States citizen of America, because this country has become, and is a corporation. All about the bottom line, profit and loss. I'm not about that. And that's the one thing maybe they underestimated about me. Can't buy me. I don't care what the offer was. Just like in scripture, it talks about Jesus being confronted by Satan saying, oh, well, I'll give you the entire world. You can have dominion over everything. All you have to do is bow down and worship me. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm not worshiping shit. I believe there is a prime creator of all. I don't necessarily like the term God, only because there are, as I like to call it, lowercase g's and the OG, all right? Lowercase g's are gods and goddesses that existed, deities, beings of higher knowledge and power, and that's wonderful. However, they are not the supreme, omniscient, omnipotent creator, maker of all, you know? So I don't bow down to anybody, and I never will. Have I sold out ever? Yeah. Absolutely. When I was on drugs, I did what I needed to do to get what I needed to get. Have I worked for corporations and taken jobs to make money to survive? Hell yeah. So, have I sold out? Yeah. But my soul's not for sale. I can't be bought. And that's what's pissing me off these days. My eldest son is 22. He is a guitarist, self-taught. At 12, he learned how to play the acoustic guitar, and then he went on to learn the electric guitar and taught himself how to read music. My family is very musically oriented. Like I was saying earlier, my dad, who retired from the post office, he plays drums and he sings, but he never made a career out of it. My son was on his way. His band was called A Part of Me, out of Freeport and Rockford, Illinois. And these kids, they would blow any mainstream artist out of the water, hands down. I'm sure if you go on Facebook, their page is still there. However, since becoming a father, now my son is following in my footsteps. When I was a teenager, I was really punk, goth, black hair, different color, you know, fire red and pink and green and Doc Marten boots, and I love that kind of alternative goth look. I do. But at his age of 22, I became a mother of him, just as he became a father of my granddaughter. And then when school started and all that, I felt very out of place being the tattooed, goth-looking mom pushing a stroller with a young one. So I didn't do it. I didn't change my look because of anyone's opinion. I've never cared about that. I didn't want my son to go through the bullying or the teasing or anything like I had gone through in my childhood. So I did it for him. I wanted to be able to make sure we fit in so that he would fit in. As dumb as that may sound today. But in retrospect, now looking back, I'm like, why did I change who I was? Just, but it is what it is. So, my son, being super gifted in music, I'm getting emotional here. My kids are my life. Like I always tell them, I love you, XOXO, and I love you more than my own life. That's what I tell them. Well, now my son has 2 jobs, a wife, baby, and he adopted his wife's daughter. He is, like, as my mom would have said, a good egg. He had super long hair, looked like a metalcore guitarist. And now with life and responsibility, he cut all his hair off. He wears a uniform. And I can't fathom what happened. I mean, me being his mom, like anti-government, anti-corporation, anti-corruption. How did I mess up, Then I've got my middle son, Jonathan. Jonathan went to a special school in Florida. He's like me. He was a child genius, like me. And he went to a school called Challenger after the spacecraft that exploded in the 80s exploded. When my son was young, I saw and I knew he was going to build rockets one day. Like, he can code, brilliant. My son's brilliant. And now he's working in a warehouse, a factory, making really good money. Just bought his very first car. He's 19. And his dad took him to go get the shot. Again, me as mom, and prior to this, when CoronaCon started, I was like, don't do it. I mean, you guys know me. And now I have cried my eyes out for 2 days straight, wondering what the after effects are going to be, wondering about the implantable biochip talk, wondering about fertility and his future and ever even having an option to have kids. On top of, when I was in the hospital, I was guided to read a book that was in there by someone named Ioana Visan, and it was called Human Instincts. And it was post-apocalyptic. They'd had a war, and then a virus was released, and it was a very good book, a novella. And in the book, it stated that anyone who had received the vaccine was cured from the virus. However, it stunted their intellectual development so that they couldn't create anymore. They were like computers. They could learn, but they couldn't create on their own anymore. Now, I'm not saying that that is the case. I'm just saying in today's world with the corruption and the agendas, and you just never know. And now they have stuck a needle full of God knows what into my son. And then I've got my youngest, Benny, who's going to be 16 on the 10th. He's my little Aquarian. And I told him already, you know how Mom feels about that. And he said he's doing school. They let them go half-time in school and half online. And I said, well, do they want you to get a vaccine or anything? He said no. And I said, well, you know how Mom feels about that. Yes, I do. And now, not only have I missed Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I've been without even visually laying eyes on my sons for 5 months. I'm going to miss the only birthday of his I've ever missed, and it's his sweet 16 on top of that. And my son is special. He's autistic, but like, what an imagination. He could take Minecraft and Roblox and Fortnite and, like, blast them out of the water. He's just so brilliant. So I've got these things going for me here. As far as the apartment, my little job, I have medical insurance. I don't have any friends or anything yet, but, you know, whatever. But I miss my kids. As soon as I said that, I just looked at the timer. It said 22:22. And my eldest to youngest, Cancer, Libra, Aquarius. And I'm a Capricorn and a Cancer rising. And my eldest son and I both have our moon in Pisces. And my son is a number 11 numerology. He's a master number. And Penny is a 1, a 10, but a 1. Beginning and the end. Nothing that I do in my life, even on this, is for me. It's because I know things, and when I see truth and facts, I call it like I see it, at whatever backlash that means for me. Because I am not going to do what my parents, grandparents, ancestors, and previous generations did, which was consume and produce, and then fuck the future generations. No, I'm not leaving my kids here in this cesspool of filth. No. Without at least trying. And then if or when something does happen, you know, or censorship or shutdown or I die or whatever, at least I know I tried. And then I did what I could do, realistically, what I was able to do to make sure that they don't have to grow up the way that I did. So going back to Generation X, which is my generation, born in the 70s, the misfit kids, the latchkey kids, the rebels, the nonconformists, the disaffected. There's so many labels, degenerates. That's why I named my channel this. we are like the breakdown crew on the front lines. We saw the bullshit probably since the day we were born. I did anyways, since as early as I can remember. And therefore have been condemned, ostracized, punished, crucified for being different, which is, if I may speak for members of Generation X, what we value is our differences and individuality and our uniqueness. And we're peaceful, and we were the ones that got bullied, and another Slipknot quotation, fighting off a generation too uptight. Exactly. So these are the things that have been weighing me down lately. Plus, everything I do and have done, I do it alone. Without any support in 3D. I don't mean you guys. You guys have been my only and greatest, and so thankful for you guys. But in my 3D reality, my physical reality, I don't have anyone. I don't have any financial means. I don't have any resources. It's like me, myself, and I, and if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. And I've bared the weight of the world on my shoulders. Shelter to shelter, park bench to park bench. Trying to keep my phone on just so I can do this, or trying, I'm tired. I realize that I can't really help anyone until my life is okay. I mean, what good am I to anyone else when I'm a freaking mess, And not by my own choice either. Circumstances and issues make it difficult to even stay semi-sane half the time. So then, going to today, I got a call. I did get the job. They offered me full-time, $16 an hour, plus 401k, plus medical, plus paid time off, paid holidays, overtime if I so choose, third shift, 10-6. But I can't take it. So I had to turn it down. Why, you might ask? Because they have a zero tolerance for cannabis in any form, and mine is medicinal. I can't stand this anymore of the criminalization of marijuana. It is not only medicinally legal in the state of Illinois, but recreationally legal. Yet companies are allowed to make their own rules. No. The earth provides all the sustenance that a human being needs for survival, medicine, water, food, air, for free. So either the earth is incorrect or the ways of this world are incorrect. One or the other. And I'm sick and tired of paying the price for being sick and tired of the world's bullshit. Cannabis is the only thing that relieves my neurological pain and helps me be able to focus and find the wherewithal to even concentrate for 3 seconds. None of their pills, pills, Big Pharma and their pills. Fuck them and their fucking money-making scams. And that's why. Because cannabis is organic to the earth, grows freely and naturally, to be used medicinally. So there's no profit in that. Aww. So corrupt. I'm literally ashamed to be in this country. I really am. What little free speech we have left, as you can see with the whole Twitter thing and the Trump thing and the this and the that and the this and the that. That's getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Quantum vision, soon all social media, if you even say the word black, like, oh, I colored with a black crayon today. Oh, you're censored for hate speech. Now, some of us don't get easily offended. For instance, I have a friend for 23 to 25 years who recently moved to the Philippines. He's Filipino. He was my best friend. And as a term of endearment, we call each other Kook. K-O-O-K. I'm like, hey, Kook, what's up? Nothing, Kook, how are you? It's a loving term of endearment. It's not like, oh, you're so racist, get away from me. So I guarantee just by me saying the word kook on this video, shadow banned. Watch, it'll have 2 views or something like that. Kook, 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 kook. If you ever watch this, Kook, I love you. And I miss you. So, Generation X, we're here to break this shit down. And I think some of us have had it, beyond had it. And it's death before dishonor for us.